Good evening, Flosstube. I'm Vicky, Stitch and Button. Today is April 13th. Well, it's after midnight, so it's April 13th now. I haven't gone to bed, so for me it's April 12th still. And this is my 6th video, and I figured I'd give you a little update. I have one finish. I haven't worked on a lot of other things, just a couple of things I've worked on. A couple of aggravating moments. And just a little bit here and there, I guess. I'm looking at my list. Give me a chance here. Alright, so let's get it started with, I have a finish. I finished a chart called I Run with Scissors. It's by Amy Brooken. Amy. I don't know how to say your name. And I'm getting it out here. I changed the colors up. She had it on a bright purple fabric, and I forgot to get the chart out. Hold on. I showed it before. She had it on a bright purple fabric with green, and I'm not big on the green, so I like blues. I chose to do blue, and I initialed it up there. It sort of reminds me of a stray string. That was a last minute thing. Had a little bit of fit with the letters because they took too long. I told Amy, I said there was a couple days where I didn't like you too much. I love her now, so it's all good. It's all good. Not sure what I'm going to do with this. I do know that it comes with that button on it. I want to put either a scissor charm, or I have a thimble charm too. That might look cute on there since it's got scissors and a needle already. So, I don't know. I'll probably frame this or make it a hanging piece right now. I got frustrated with it. Finally got it finished, so it's just going to go away for right now until I get other things done. I did some project bags, and those are by, I have notes all over the place over here. It's by Making Life Count. It's all one word, Making Life Count, on Flosstube. And I can't remember her first name, but she gave a tutorial on how to make the project bags. I know that there's other ones there. This is the one I followed. This is the one where I broke a sweat out on the vinyl. But I made 3 of them. One of them's holding a project, which I wanted to show you anyway. And I'll show you the ones that aren't being used. It's this great Doctor Who fabric. Both of them have it. When I did the cutting, I cut enough for this piece for 2 of them, and I don't know why I didn't cut the 3rd, but I had this other fabric anyway. So it sort of differentiates because I use different color zippers. My zipper's blue. This one's for my friend Gina. She gets a black zipper. This one with the black zipper with the blue, that one's for her daughter, Becca. The only difference the only thing I would change about making them would be I'd get a stronger, what they call a stronger gauge vinyl. This is okay, but it could be a little bit thicker, and I have plenty of this, so I'm not going to waste it. Although, it might do me in if I try to cut some more and it disappears. Anyway, I finished those. I'm going to make zipper pulls for those. I have TARDIS charms, and I'm going to make zipper pulls for them before I send those off. I have been working on a couple of things. This one is Beans from Plum Street Sampler. So far, I finished... the past couple days I sort of worked on it a little bit. I started this lady over here, I finished this word, and I did beans here, which was a little bit of a pain because I kept on... I know I could move it and make my life much easier, but who wants to make it easier, you know? Let's up the game a bit. So I did a little bit on that. That one's on Vicky Clayton fabric, Vicky Clayton hand-dyed fibers. And that's with Vicky Clayton silk, so I'm using Jackalope 5271. It's a dark brown. And I figured instead of just using white, because there's a little bit of white in it, I used the Jackalope 50. I can't even read it. Are you kidding me? It's so small. 5261. It's just slightly off-white. Anyway, those are the two colors for that, and I'm doing that 1/2. I also worked some more on Mr. Poe here. I filled in his eye. I know a couple people said he looks a little creepy with the one eye. I sort of like it. What can I say? You know, the creep factor's there. Anyway, I had to frog out the bottom part of this E. I was like, oh, I got some progress. No, I had to frog out the E, start that over again, and then start this over again because I had that done. So he's gotten a little bit of time. I'm trying to see if I can... Oh, that was almost... This is more true to the color, I want to say. It's a pretty deep purpley blue color. It's not... For some reason, it washes it out. Oh, there you go. Really love this, and I keep on getting compliments on it. And it was a fluke, and I think I told Michelle Bendy Stitchy, yeah, you're going through your stuff trying to kit things up. And it's only got what I thought was 3 colors. It's actually 4 if you count the white in the eye, the little bit of white in the eyes. And I'm like, okay, so I'll free reign on whatever fabric, and I wanted to pop. I wanted to, you know, show something. And I picked out a different purple. It wasn't modeled or anything like that. And of course, you know, you have your regular browns and khakis and stuff like that. And I'm going through and I pulled and I saw this one and I was like, stop the presses. This is the one. And I think I told her when two worlds collide and it creates this beautiful matrimony here. So love that color. Again, that's Vicky Clayton, hand dyed. You can't even get it anymore, so I guess I'm lucky I found it, right? I've also been working on Blue Flame. Got a story with this. Okay, so I got this scroll frame, and the scroll frame came with the split dowel rods. Tried to put this in there. It was too wide, so I folded the edges in. Yeah, then it gets baggy in the center, so I put fabric in there, and it still wasn't taut. So I went on Stitch Mania, and I said, help me. And the best they could tell me to do is, somebody did get it to work with fabric in it. Maybe I just didn't do it right. I don't know. It's so big and gamey. So I ended up going to get dowel rods. I went to Home Depot, and I got the same size, thickness, same diameter as the ones that were in there, and I just had them cut them down to 36 for me because they were 48 inches. And of course, me being me, because you know I only do some crafty thing around here, I kept the other pieces of dowel rods because you never know. I could make a tree out of it for all I know. I don't know. Anywho, so I got it on here. Now, what I did was I used Velcro, the sticky Velcro that I had in the house, and I cut it into 4 pieces. As you can see, there's little lumps here. Well, that works great, sort of. Except for the fact that where the sticky lumps aren't, there's a little bit of play. But otherwise, it's real tight here, and then there's play here, and then it's real tight here. So I have 2 options, and I'm playing... Well, actually, I have 3 options. I did use some painter's tape also, because I have enough on the edge. If it gets cookie, I can cut it off. I don't feel like taking it off. I actually stitched, believe it or not, I'll show you. I did all this. This goes into page... I don't know if it's page 2. Yeah, it is page 2. So, because I figure I'm going to have to start going across with the pages, then just... This is almost page 1. I think page 1 goes down to like here. So, that's a page. And, isn't it pathetic? I didn't even start... I haven't finished the whole page. Anyway, I had a whole bunch parked, and I decided, since I had it like this, and I had to move over anyway, I would just do all my parked threads that were over here. As you can see, there's a couple more here. And I think there's a needle connected to one. But I did buy more Velcro. as it's over here. That should be long enough if I want to do the Velcro route. Only thing with that is you're always going to have, like, I don't even remember what side I put on what. I think I put the female side, the fluffy side, on the rods so it wouldn't be scratchy on the fabric if I touched it. But if you do it that way, you're always going to need more male side. You know what I mean? I got to put another project on. The female side will be on the rods, but then I'm going to need more male side, and I don't think you can just get male side. You'd have to buy the whole thing, and then you're wasting. So I'm either A, going to leave it and deal with it for a while, which might just happen. B, use painter's tape and just tape it on and then go from there. Or I can sew a piece of fabric going across and baste it on and maybe do the Velcro. I don't know. The let's do it easy side of me says go ahead and just tape the sucker on there and roll it up and you'll be good. But I started gridding because Jules she was gridding all her big ones, and I keep on seeing others grid, and I'm looking at it and I was like, oh, I need to grid. Well, I was wrong. This made it so much easier to count and to move over. It's amazing. I didn't realize what I was missing out on. Anyway, so that's Blue Flame. That's a Heaven and Earth design. I have another full coverage, which is in my project bag here that I made. This, a friend of mine had gotten this Riolis kit, and it is Starry Night by Vincent Van Gogh. And I like it. It's simple. I don't like it because I don't know. I mixed, and I'll tell you. Here's the picture. All right, we started together. She started in the center. I started in the center, and then I realized that my fabric was sideways. Don't tell me that you haven't done that. I gridded this also because it's full coverage. Well, actually, what I thought was full coverage, but I do see that there's some white spots in there. But I'm just going to fill them in with white because it's Ada. And if I was going to do something that wasn't full coverage, I would have changed out the linen anyway. But I'm going to show you a little part of this chart just to get my gist across. You see that? How the colors? It's colored. Like really dark ones too. And some of the symbols are sort of similar. So they number their threads. And I'm sure other people that have these Riolis kits know this. This is more like a woolly thread. So they number the threads. So now I'm looking for a number and a symbol. So I see the symbol here. I have to find the symbol over here, then figure out what the number is. Okay, fine. I get it. It's easier for them to roll it like that, to kit it up like that. They could at least match the symbol color to the color of the thread. I mean, honest to goodness, the number 1 sort of matches. There's a couple of them that sort of match, and then they go totally off the grid with some of them that are green. It's not even green. It's like, it confuses me some, and it's slightly disappointing. Like, don't put purple in there. I don't see purple, so don't put purple. You think they would have matched it up a little bit better, and with all the symbols out there, there's 26 different colors. All the symbols out there, you think they could have picked ones that were extremely different and not such, I don't know. Maybe I'm just bitching too much. I did make working copies because I'm coloring it in as I go along with a red pencil because I have to. And I'm doing it in hand so far. I'm debating on whether I want to. I could put it on a scroll rod. I know I have another one somewhere around here. But this is where I've gotten. Just the bottom corner. And when I was talking to my friend, that sent it to me, she said she started in the center, so she's moving, I think, to the up and to the left. But since I started down the bottom here, because I just rolled it up and started down in this corner, I'm thinking that since it's rolled up like this and like Bendy does, I can keep it rolled, do all the way up, and then just slowly unroll this side and roll this side up as I need to. And keep it in hand, because the 8 is so stiff, it's just easier to do that. I am also, because of the way this is bobbinated on there, it's all one long length. So I've measured out, let me think. I'm doing 40 inches. Probably a little bit long, but it's just it's how I roll. So I put them into 40-inch lengths, and I put the numbers all on here, and I always cut a couple of more and then just put them on and use them as I need to. It does tell you don't park it. Well, not in the way they say it. Basically, they're telling you not to park it because otherwise you're going to run out of threads. And I don't know where I'd get more of these, like, these wool type of threads anyway. But I've never used this. I've had it for over 10 years. Never used this. Finally found a reason to use it. Okay. What else? That's all I've been working on. If you see this mess here, this is beading. I've been doing a lot of beading. I have some pre-orders to do. I found, I got together some charms to make some fobs and zipper pulls for the farmhouse stuff. So I've got orders for them. Got this truck. Got 2 different kinds of chickens. I got this one. It's kind of puffy little chicken. It's not really focusing. Got a bigger flat chicken. This one's got a little... I don't know, I look at this one and the way the eye is, it looks like it's got a little bit of attitude. Sort of like it. And then I've got this duck. And this tractor. It's like a little 3D tractor. And a pig. And a sheep. So I've got those, and I've got orders for those that I'm trying to get done. I did do some of them already. I had a order for some Star Wars stuff that I finished up already. And oh, I'm in my jammies. I just got out of the shower. If you had smell-o-vision, you'd smell Bath and Body Works. But I did put on a bra for you. You're welcome. Don't want to be bouncing all over the place for you. Looking at my list here of stuff to talk about besides my chest. That's all that I've been working on. I wanted to go through some haul because I forgot some before. And I got some new stuff which I sort of want to give you a review on. Alright, let's do... I found this, I'm going to butcher the name, Osnaburg. 74 cents. I was like, that sort of looks like linen, and even if I don't use it to stitch, I could use it to back something, make it sort of primitive. And I did some stitches on it, a little block of 9, and then I stitched the count on there. It's actually 32 one way and 40 another. So everything would be oblong or extra fat, depending on how old. But I've done that before, and it worked out pretty well. So for a whole 74 cents, I think it's well worth it. I was at Michael's, Joann's, one of those. Oh, it had to be Joann's because I had gotten this really cool bag. Look how cute that is. It's like $1.50 something. It says so much fabric, so little time. Anyway, while I was there, it was around St. Patty's Day, and they had all their St. Patty's stuff on clearance, and this says it was $6. It wasn't. Look at this hat. Now, it has a clover on it, but what does this remind you of? As soon as I looked at it, with the shape, I thought of the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. So I plucked off the shamrock, and I still have to clean it up a little bit more. I got to get some more of that off of there. And I'm going to make the hat size tag, paint it. I think it's going to look really cute. I bought 2 of them to make. I don't know that I'll keep them. I don't have a lot of... I like Alice in Wonderland, but I don't have a lot of Alice in Wonderland stuff. So you may see those in my Etsy shop sometime in the future when I get on a painting spree. Okay. Oh. This is going to happen. I've already told McKenna and Michelle. So I had seen this and I'd sent McKenna a Instagram message. I was like, oh my God, do you crochet? And she's like, no, I don't. And I was like, oh, it's a shame. And I forgot about it for a while, and like a week or so went by and I saw it again and I was like, I have to do a Frida. I have to do the Frida. By the way, I did order Frida stuff for needle minders for the shop too. I'm waiting for those to come in. So I went and I looked on Ravelry. I bought this on Ravelry. It's, I don't know how to say it, and I know that other people do, but there you go. I don't know how to say it. And, but she needs something. First of all, the shawl, it can be so much better, so she'll get a better shawl than that. I did go and I bought the yarn colors for it. And as far as the flowers, I might do the flowers like that with some beading in it, but she's getting earrings. I have plenty of beads. There's a whole bunch over here. The seed beads, I'm going to make her earrings. She's going to get bracelet. And I think that her shawl needs a little bit of bling or something. It's just got to be better than this. And her eyebrows are not, I know they're in monobrow, but they do have some contour, so she's got to have a little bit more shapely brow than that. And I think her eyes can come a little bit closer together. So I'm going to tweak her my way, and I'll probably put those in the Etsy shop too. I don't know how long that's going to take. I've actually never done one of these, but I'm sure I can because I crochet all kinds of stuff. So if you think you can, right? If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work and you'll never see it again. I don't know. Okay, so 2 things that I got that I want to sort of do a review on. I had seen some stuff in, from China, the kits and stuff like that. And they were like really cheap, like $3, $4. So I ordered a couple. Now, these I ordered, I've never seen, and I've seen a whole bunch of charts. I've never seen these because I know that some of them are copyright infringement. Some of them just... So, I don't think I've ever seen this one before. I've got a Post-it note on there. Sorry. Okay, yeah, that's got to come out. Okay, so here's what it is. Because I love coffee. My whole kitchen's coffee. Alright. Now, there's a couple things that bother me. And I know dimensions kits and stuff do that. See that? That is not going to happen. I will quarter stitch and half stitch things before I let these big gaps like that. So all that would have to be like that. Now, I did like that they carded the threads. And I've got to tell you, these threads are really soft. I mean, it's almost like they put fabric softener on the suckers. They don't smell funny. Anyway, yes, I'm sniffing it. These are for 14 count, because you can get it 11 count. You can get it 11 count using 3 threads, 11 count using 4 threads, or 14 count using 2 threads. So, this is the card. Here's part of my problem. And I know you get what you pay for, right? I had to try it, though. I think this one was like less than $4. I think it was like $3.50. The fabric they give you is 10.5 by 7.5. It's Aida. I don't really use Aida, so I'll probably change it out anyway. But for somebody that was looking forward to a full kit, this is what you get. That's pretty stiff. I mean, that's almost feeling like cardboard. Now, one good thing is they serged all the edges for you, and they gave you 2 needles just in case. Oh, here's my Post-it note, by the way. That's a turd. He's purple. Anyway, so the chart I measured, the chart is 100 by 70. From my calculations, it's giving you an inch and a quarter on each side extra. So no wonder it's so stiff, because you're not going to be able to stretch that sucker around anything to frame it. You're going to have it standing up in the frame, just glued to the back of something in order to get it framed. So obviously I'll be changing that out for some cool linen. And this is another one. I'm going to look. Well, they matched up the colors pretty well, I must say. And they used numbers for their symbols. They used... I hope I'm not showing the pad. They didn't. Okay. Did they? Yes. They use numbers and letters for their symbols. Okay. So, 1 through 9 are symbols 1 through 9 on this card. 10 is going to be 0, and then 11 through 20 are going to be A through K. That's not too hard to go by. And like I said, I do understand why they do it. It's easier to just put these numbers on instead of each individual symbol. I get it. There are no... I mean, I could show you this part. It's just the same picture as before. But there are no instructions. Well, those are probably... No, that's not... That doesn't really look like instructions. That's just the size. Anyway, and I can't read Japanese or Chinese, any Mandarin. I don't even know what it is. They do tell you what the DMC colors are, which is pretty cool. I might even get a hair up my butt one of these days and go see if it actually matches DMC. Because I doubt if they give you DMC. Anyway, there's a yay, nay on that one. Like I said, I'm usually not happy with the fabric and kits anyway. Any dimensions that I've gotten that had the Ada. Because I did one and it was... I ended up having to throw it out because the fabric wasn't big enough. I mean, it literally left me like a ½ inch on each side on the fabric. It's crazy. They need to give you more. I mean, come on. They charge you enough for it. They should give you more. I say a minimum of 2 inches. Minimum of 2 inches on each side. Okay, so I ordered another one. This one was like $4. $4 and some change. There's no picture as to what it looked... Oh, wait. Yes, there is. I'll show it to you sideways. This is what it looks like. It's sort of like snowflakes and stuff that make up a tree. They had a whole bunch of different colors. And on here... the colors match what the tree is, as far as, except for, well, the branches in the trunk and the branches are in black, which they're not, they're brown. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's a small chart, so I don't know if you'd want to expand it or not on your printer. That's fine. Look at this. They give you a lot of thread, because I think this is more than enough thread to finish it once, maybe once and a half, because I don't see that much stitching going on that. And again, it's really soft. Like, I don't know, it's like butter. Okay. Here's the Ada they give you. Those colors don't match anything. And the grid marks, does that wash out? And what I also noticed, I compared some of the colors. Like this dark purple, there's a light blue that's supposed to go over that. Isn't that going to show through? And they put a legend here, but there's no way you can read it. I mean, okay, maybe if I squint real hard, I could see it. Or put on my cheaters. I think that's the DMC color it's supposed to be. I don't know. It's hard to read on the side there. So, one good thing, I mean, really, if I was using these colors, each one is directly on a square. You have some of them are painted and you have to choose which square it's actually going to go on. Now these are painted directly onto the square. It's lined up very well. But there's no instructions that I can make out because I don't read Mandarin. But I'm very curious as to whether that paint washes out. Because I would want to stitch the piece and think, okay, I can like rinse it and it'll come out. And then it doesn't. And then you could see it through. So I love that it's gridded for you, pre-gridded. But I guess I'm just going to have to take like a wet rag and try to like take out this corner or something and see what happens. Although, with it not being full coverage, this is on Ada, so I'd probably change it out anyway. So maybe one of these videos you'll see me saying, hey, anybody want this piece? They can color it in. I'll let you know, but I don't know that I'd ever get any of these again. I wanted to try them because they were only a couple dollars a piece, and I had a couple dollars, and I said, let me just see. I'm curious, and I like this tree. I don't think I've seen that tree anywhere. Like I said, I know you really have to watch, but so I don't know when they'll ever be started. How many things do I have going on? Okay. I did also buy, which I can't show you right because it's all the way down here. I bought a yard. It's a measuring tape. That's a sticker that sticks right on your table. Because when I'm doing sizes for like my beads and my scissor fobs and stuff like that, I'm always pulling out the ruler, or looking for something to measure with. This way it's stuck right there on the table, and all I have to do is line it up. It's got centimeters and it's got inches. Sorry if I'm shaking. It's got centimeters and inches, so if I'm reading something that says it's this many centimeters, I can pretty much figure it out right there without having to go to Google. What else? One thing I wanted to mention was I wanted to remind everybody that that spooky Savannah retreat is still coming up in October, and I can't remember the exact date, even though I'm going. I know that there's openings, and I'd really like to see as many people as possible there. Get in touch with Jen, and I will definitely link the website to the retreat in the video, under the video, in the comments, so you guys can go check it out. Come join us. I know that I know there's not tons of spots, but we'd like to fill it up, you know. And it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's Millie, Jen, and Amy. How could it not be fun? I also had a couple other things. Oh, who I'm watching. I've been binge watching. Netflix really misses me. I've been binge watching the Flosstube, and I wanted to give a couple shout outs. And everybody's probably watching them anyway. Some coffee, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm drinking coffee. I could drink coffee and go to bed. Cute cup. It's ceramic, and it's got a lid in there. It's not spill proof, but it helps. My neighbor got that for me because when she goes away, I will go over and feed and walk her dog for her for free, so she felt like she had to get me something. Okay. This coffee cup is always good. Okay, so who I've been watching. Theresa Craig. She's over in Australia. She's a sweetheart. I want to tell her to yell at people. Because she doesn't even know how to get nasty with people that are taking 6 months for a pair of scroll rods. So, love her. She does huge things. And it's funny because like she'll be working on 2 things, but she can still find stuff to talk about. And she calls it rambling. I love her stories. So she's got and they're gorgeous. I know I'm sure she finished it because I just started watching her, so I'm catching up. And she was working on Cinderella, and I think I saw that there's another video up there where she did actually finish it. So I also have been, and her name is Theresa Craig on Flosstube, and I'll link her. I am also hooked on Saho Dream Stitch. She's very sweet, and she's funny. She is really funny. She's unassumingly funny. She's got beautiful heart hanger. I'm sure that there's, I forget who mentioned her. I don't know if it was Michelle Bendy. I don't know, I've been watching a lot. But she's got and she tells you about her Japanese culture, which I love learning about what other people do, what other countries do, what, you know, just as far as whether it be a holiday or their traditions and why they do it. I think it's great. Which is, by the way, talk about Japanese culture. I broke down and I ordered Here Lie My Needles. And it's all Michelle's fault because she kept on talking about it. And I was like, oh, that's a cute idea. And I kept on thinking, well, maybe I could just paint something or get a frame and maybe put fabric on it and fabric paints or something. But no, I'm going to stitch it up and do it like that. I'll join their stitch along. I'm just going to join in late because I have other things going on and I'm going to wait for the chart to come in. It's going to take a couple weeks. And I've been binge watching Audrey from Stitchy Witch 42. I did tell her, I said, don't be creeped out, but I've been binge watching you. And I actually laughed so hard was it this morning or last night? And it was just me and the dog. And I was sitting there and I started laughing. And the dog jumped up and he looked at me like I was strange. And I am, but he should know this by now. He's always with me. I'm trying to think. Everything's beads over here. Everything's beads. I cleaned up all the sewing stuff. It looked nice for about a half hour. And then it's all beads. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in that Runs with Scissors, I put a whole bunch of stuff up on the Stash Unloading Cross Stitch Only site just to sort of unload my stash. And all that money that I'm getting from that is getting put away for I have 2 retreats this year. I have one, the Primitive Stitcher Society is having a retreat up in well, they say Lancaster. It's not Lancaster, it's Harrisburg. It's a little, it's misguiding to say it's in Lancaster. Lancaster is about a 45-minute drive from Harrisburg, from where that place is. I used to live there. But they're having a retreat. It's in Harrisburg, near the Harrisburg East Mall. And I signed up for it last year. And now I need to save money for gas. So I am selling off some stuff to be able to put all that away. That's at the end of May. Now I know that they've sold all the retreat spots. But if you're in the area, definitely come on out. Look it up. Prim Stitcher Society group has the information up there. And it is running from... I'm lost without a calendar. It is running from May 30th into June 2nd. Somewhere around there. It's the very last weekend in May into June. And I know they'll have a merchant mall on Friday and Saturday. Maybe Thursday night, but I know definitely Friday and Saturday. I think it's Friday and Saturday they have a merchant mall where you pay like $5 to come in, and they have all kinds of merchants. I know that Not Forgotten Farms is going to be there. Elizabeth from Dames and Needles is going to be there. I think maybe Lucy Beam is going to be there. Used to be Death by Thread. Theresa. Can't remember her last name now. But there's a whole bunch of prim either designers or shops going to be there, and they're going to have a lot of fun stuff. I will be attending the 2 classes, although I won't be staying at the hotel. I paid for the package to go to the classes and to the banquet, but I'll be staying with my BFF because she lives 5 minutes away, and I can crash on her daughter's bed since her... Oh, I don't know. Maybe Becca will be home. I'll throw her daughter on the floor and I'll steal her bed. How's that? Ha ha ha. Anyway, so I'll be doing that at the very end of May. And then October, I have that other one. So I figure, well, let me get rid of this. I just started looking, like everybody else has been saying, why stitch it if you don't love it? I'm starting to look at stuff and I'm like, I have all these other things. I told you I have my 2 binders called Sooner and Later. And I just went through my file cabinet again. I'm like, is it going to go into Sooner and Later? No. So I'm getting rid of it. So it's up there I put a whole bunch of stuff, even some fabric and charts and a couple of kits, and you can check it out if you belong to a group. You might have seen it already or bought, so I don't know. I'm not going to assume that everybody watches it, right? Did that. I had one last thing. I was watching Ginger Gerald do, I think he was doing one of his Stitch With Me videos, I want to say. I think it was a Stitch With Me. Yeah, it was. And he did the Tracy P Talking Tag, and it tickled me because although he's from Jersey and the Philadelphia area, while he lives in Jersey, right near Philadelphia, he's actually, from what I understand, he's out near Pittsburgh, and they do have a different accent than those of us that are actually from Philly, and I am from Philly. So I figured this is perfect for me, especially for those that say I have an accent. I don't know that I have an accent. I think everybody else does. So I want to do the Tracy P Talking Tag, and I can put that in the links below if you wanted to check it out. Also, it says to say these words. Aunt, like your Aunt Mary. Route. Wash. Oil. Theater. Iron. Salmon. Caramel. Fire. Water. Sure. Data. Ruin. Crayon. Toilet. New Orleans. Pecan. Both. Again. Probably. Spitting image. Alabama. Lawyer. Coupon. Mayonnaise. Syrup. Pajamas. Caught. Okay, it says now answer these questions. What is it called when you throw toilet paper on a house? I call that TP in a house. I think I heard 2 people do this tag so far, and everybody calls it TP. I've never heard it called anything else. What's the bug? When you touch it, it curls into a ball. I always called it a roly-poly. And I think my mom might have called it a roly-poly and or a pill bug. What's the bubbly carbonated drink called? I call it soda. I know a lot of people call it pop. I call it soda. What do you call gym shoes? I call them sneakers. I live in Central Florida. Everybody calls them tennis shoes. Ain't one of them playing tennis, and it drives me crazy that they all call them tennis shoes. What do you say to address a group of people? If I'm being sarcastic, I'll say y'all. I usually say you all or you guys. I know a lot of people say yins. I don't use that though. What do you call the kind of spider that has an oval shaped body and extremely long legs? I call it a daddy long-legger. And I hate spiders. What do you call your grandparents? Well, when they were alive, I always put a little twang spin on my grandfather. I don't know why. It was just a thing, and it made us smile. I used to call him Grandpa, just like that. But I would call my grandpa and grandma. I never had special names for them. Now, we used to call my Grandma Red. And I always thought it was because her hair was red. But for a time, her last name was actually Red with 2 D's. But when you're little, it doesn't, I don't know. But, I never met my father's parents, so I didn't have 2 sets of grandparents. So it was just Grandma, Grandpa. What do you call the wheeled contraption in which you carry groceries in a supermarket? It's a grocery cart. Cart with the cart. What do you call it when rain falls while the sun is shining? I call it a sun shower. Or Florida. Or there's rain on that side and not on that side. That's still Florida. What is the thing you change the TV channel with? I call it the remote. I think my kids always called it the moat instead of the remote. And I know people have called it the clicker. I call it a remote. And I think that is pretty much everything I had. I did want to mention a couple things in my shop that I haven't put these up yet. I'm still toying with that. I have to take pictures and stuff. Everything's a process. So I started making, a lot of people call them froggers. I want to call them nitpickers, just because I think that's a campy name. And I had these needles. They're size 20 needles, so they're pretty thicker. They're a lot thicker. I use 26s, so these feel like javelins to me. Did I say javelins? Javelins? How do you say javelin? There's a talking tag for you. Okay, so I made these. I put beads on them. There's a frosted butterfly. There's one with a skull. There's one with a star. Some of these are one-offs. I don't usually do mass production of a lot of things. I think it's kind of nice to be able to get something that not everybody else has. And, I mean, I can make more if I have the supplies in. I got this one. It's purple pearl. Butterfly. These two. I got this one. And I have a few others. But those are newer things I started to make. And I'll probably make more, too. And like I said, I've been doing those farmhouse beaded things, and I actually got in a whole bunch of different kinds. I've got in new charms I want to make zipper pulls with. It's I have it. Oh, I didn't pull it out. Okay, it's a skeleton dancing with a tutu on. Hysterical. I thought it was funny. I got those. I'll be making zipper pulls with those. I think they're a little bit small for a scissor fob. You want a charm that's a little bit bigger than that. Although I can make it work if anybody wanted it. Also, I did want to say, if you, I'm looking around to make sure I don't forget anything, because last video I turned off everything. Everything was good, and I turned around and I found those couple of things that I had gotten before and I forgot. If anybody wants anything as far as beaded stuff, scissor fobs, zipper pulls, I have grime guards. If you have anything in particular you're looking for, I have a ton of charms. Contact me. I'm gonna sneeze. I hope everybody has excuse me. I'm sorry. I hope you didn't have to have headphones on. I can't edit this because my laptop is acting screwy. So I'm gonna leave it there. And I'm so sorry. Allergies. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm going to hurry up and finish. Anyway, if you have anything you're looking for, you can look at my shop, sort of see what I do. If you want it different color, a certain kind of charm, a certain kind of theme, let me know. Send me a convo, send me a message on here. I think it's got, I've never really, is it an email you send through here? I could check that. And I'm on Instagram at QNVIKKI, Queen Vicky, QNVIKKI, on Instagram. I know I should have done stitching button, but I didn't. A whole nother story. Anyway, keep in touch. Send me comments. That'd be great. Love comments. I love questions. If there's something you want to see, something piques your interest with all this crap that's going on back here, I will explain it. Let me know. Everybody have a great day, great night, and happy stitching.